The other news agency is quoting government sources, and I'm going to read verbatim what they have said. It's quoting government sources saying at least 20 Indian soldiers killed in the violent face-off with China in Galwan Valley in eastern Ladakh. The casualty numbers could rise. They're attributing this to government sources. This is again the news agency ANI. Shreya Dondial, if you're there, I think this was what we feared. But now ANI is reporting that at least 20 Indian soldiers are feared dead in this violent clash.
Zaka, this is exactly what, my sources within the Indian Army have been telling me since evening. One of the numbers that I had heard was 13 when I called my source in Srinagar, asked them, what's going on. They said, actually, the casualty is much higher, but we are not in a position to give you a number. Another source had confirmed that at least 20 Indian soldiers have died in that bloody clash that took place. Again, all of us have been waiting for the Indian Army to come out with an official statement since evening. When you put out something like this, this is sensitive information. There are families involved. You want to be sure that they are hearing of the news, they are hearing of this bad news not via a television channel, but through official sources from the Indian Army. But I think that has already happened. The next of kin have already been informed, which is now why you're seeing that PTI is reporting that 10 Indian soldiers have been killed. ANI is now reporting that 20 Indian soldiers have been killed, because there is, I think, a green signal that has been given from sources within the Indian Army that now that the next of kin have been informed, they have been told that they will be, getting back coffins wrapped in the tricolor. It's okay for you to start flashing this information, which is why we are getting it. Again, right now, no official word is coming in from the Indian Army. I think we'd like to put that on record. But what my sources have been telling me since evening is that more than 20 Indian soldiers have died in that bloody clash that took place yesterday. ANI is confirming that. They have spoken to their sources as well. PTI sources confirming 10. So, right now I think it's just safe to wait and see when the Indian Army decides to release that statement, because there has been other news as well that has still not been confirmed, things that we cannot put out in the public domain. But so far, safe to say then at least, 10 to 20 Indian soldiers were killed in that bloody clash. I can also tell you this, the sequence of events that has been drawn up for us is this, that Colonel Babu was actually part of the talks that were going on with his counterpart, with the CO from the Chinese side. These talks happened yesterday itself in the morning and the afternoon. This is when, the CO returns to his unit. There are certain things that have been agreed upon. What has been agreed upon is that there will be a buffer zone created and both sides will retreat to the either side of the buffer zone. But in this case, the Chinese decide to go back on their word when Colonel Babu gets there to say that, this is something that has been agreed upon, you need to comply to it. The Chinese do step back and then suddenly come back and attack Colonel Babu and the 12 to 13 men who were with him. That is what we are being told. Post this, there's only escalation in the violence.